Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to see how to implement bottom sheets or pop-up in our app. There are definitely lots of third parties which are available for that, but there are a couple of reasons why we should not be integrating third parties. Number one is it increases the size of the app. There is always plenty of code in third party which might not be useful for us. Number two is it's not flexible at all. You don't have much control over how it looks, how it appears and all. So let's see how to implement a bottom sheet without installing a third party. Let's start by creating a new project. Click on Xcode. Click on create a new Xcode project. Select single view application, then give the product name. We are going to give a bottom sheet. Click on next. Select your destination folder and then click on create. Now that we have created a project, it's time to design our view. For that, click on plus button. Select view, drag and drop into the view controller. This is the view which is going to move up and down. Let's now give it constraint. Let's make it 0 from leading, 0 from trailing and 0 from the bottom part. Then let's make the height to be 400. Now we can give the background color to our view so that we can see the bottom sheet here. Let's add a button on clicking of which we will show and hide the bottom sheet. For that, click on plus button, then search for button in this, and then drag and drop button. Let's now give the constraint to the button. Let's make it 10 from the top, 30 from leading and 30 from trailing. Let's also make the height to 40. Let's now give the background color to button. For that, click on attribute inspector and then go to background color. Let's give it as white, and then let's change the text color as well. Let's make it to the background color which we have given to the view. Now initially, because our bottom sheet is not going to be visible, let's make this height as 0. Let's now create outline and action for the button and our view. For that, click on the plus button, which is to add the editor on right. Then select the view controller that is assigned to this view. Now this is the view which is going to move up and down when we click on button. So let's give this a name and let's create an outlet as a bottom view. This is the button on clicking of which we are gonna move the bottom sheet. So let's create an action for that. Let's make it clicked on the button. Knowing the shortcuts is very important for any developer. Here is tip number 1 for this video. When you click on Command T, it opens a new tab. Here is tip number 2 for you. When you click on Shift Command O, it opens a search field. This is same as Spotlight search for MacBooks. This is used to search any method, any view controller, any folder in your whole project. Let's now search for view controller and then let's click on return. It will go to the viewcontroller.swift file. We are going to start with showing and hiding the bottom sheet. Now if you want to change the property of any UI element, you have to create an outlet for that. Let's create the outlets for the constraint we have given to the bottom view. Currently the height of the bottom view is 0, that's why it's not visible. To make it visible and to animate it, we will have to make its height 400 with this method. Let's change the height of bottom sheet by assigning a value to this bottom constraint constant. Writing this much code is not enough for animating the bottom view. This will of course change the bottom sheet's height to 400, but it's not going to animate it. For that, we have to add one more line, which is self.view layout if needed. This line tells the compiler to forcefully update the UI element and the whole view. Let's go to completion handler now. Let's make it status and this code is going to be executed when the animation is done. Let's run our project and see how this looks. When we click on this button, we are able to see this bottom sheet coming up. After the bottom sheet is shown, when you click on button, we have to hide this. For that, we have to maintain a flag in our view controller. Let's make a private variable called isBottomSheetShown. We are going to manipulate this variable when we click on the button, and according to which we are going to hide or show the bottom sheet. For hiding the bottom sheet again, we have to make the height constraint to be 0. The code in completion handler will be executed once the animation is completed. So let's change the value of isBottomSheetShown here. Let us now run the project and see how this looks. We are now able to hide and show the bottom sheet. But do you think this is worth going to the App Store in your app? No, right? Let me now show you how, just by manipulating the constraints and using the same code that we already have in our view controller, you can make the animations much better. Let's give some bouncing animation to our bottom sheet, which a lot of third parties have. Once we click on the button, we are able to see that the bottom sheet is bouncing now. Let's change the animation time to 0.1 for faster animations and see how that looks. Let's set some corner radius to our bottom sheet and our button. Let's now add an image to the bottom view. Tip number 3, guys. When you click on option while this pop-up is on, you can see the detailed view of this pop-up. Time to tip number 4, guys. When you click on command while this pop-up is on, you can add multiple constraints. Let's set appropriate constraint to the image view and add an image to the image view, and then run the project and see how that looks. Let's now set the constraint of button with respect to bottom view so that it can move with it. Now that we are done with setting the constraint of button, let's see how it looks. Let's change the constraint of our bottom sheet to beautify it. Hey, do you wonder? What if we make this bottom sheet appear from bottom left corner of the screen? Let's see that as well. Let's set the trailing constraint to be maximum. We are going to change this constraint value as we animate to make the bottom sheet appear from bottom left. I have a question for you guys. Why am I writing this code in viewDidAppear and not in viewDidLoad? If you know the answer, comment down below. Our dismiss animation is taking more time. Let's fix that by making the animation time to 0.1 seconds. Also, bottom sheet is not bouncing while getting dismissed. Let's fix that by making the initial height of the bottom sheet to 420 when the user clicks on button. And then after that animation is completed, let's set the height to 0 to dismiss it. This will ensure the bouncing animation while dismissing also. Here we were able to implement a bottom sheet or pop-up without integrating any third party. Cheers to us, guys. Here are some more examples of how this approach can be used. Also, if you were not able to understand something from the video, the link for the project is given in the description. Please check that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really liked this video and learned something from it. If you did, please like, share and subscribe. Stay home, stay safe.